Yo, what's up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans? This is former Buccaneers defensive tackle James Canada. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, smash that bell so you know every time that I'm dropping brand new content on Games Pewter Perspective. Um, we all know it's the offseason. OTAs just started for a lot of these teams. Different things are going on. Rookie mini camps, regular mini camps. Like I said, OTAs are going on. It is that time of year where only thing we can do as sports fans is speculate what's going to happen with our team. So right now, most NFL content creators, writers, and fans are talking about how their team is going to win the Super Bowl. Now, I did a show. Shout out to my man with the Buccaneers last week, and then I was asked what I thought the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would do this season. And I was like, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll win the division. But here I am strolling through different articles and reading different things. And I came across something on Athlon Sports, y'all. And Adam Schultz wrote a great article. And first, when I saw this article, I was like, is this dude crazy? Really? And then I started looking at some other stuff from some other fellow content creators of Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I was like, you know what? This isn't far off. But first and foremost, man, I will make sure that I drop the title to that article, that link in the description after I get this uploaded. And when I say it is bananas, the title of it is what really caught my eye. The title of this article says Bucs exploding towards NFL dark horse success in 2025. So early on, I never liked to do a straight up prediction, especially about Super Bowl predictions. I'm just real weird about that. Like, I want to see OTAs. I want to see training camp. I want to see how the first quarter of that season plays out. And it's not just to hide behind success and not success, but everything that happens on a team plays a pivotal part to the success or the failure that your team is going to have. And so seeing how things gel and work in the preseason or training camp, because the 3 preseason games nowadays and resting guys and not playing them a lot is harder to gauge. And you're doing that a lot for those bubble guys to get those reps to see if they're going to fit the mold of your team. But nevertheless, going out predicting a Super Bowl winner early on for me is something that I normally never really do. But the more I read this article and started thinking about it, and shout out to my man AJ Turnup over there on his Buccaneers show. He's a diehard believer, diehard fan, and AJ is preaching how the Buccaneers are going to win the Super Bowl. And starting to look at some different things, I believe that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can be a dark horse candidate to compete in the NFC this year. Now, granted, we look at it. The NFC South, we've been getting teased for the last 4 years about it being the worst division in football. Now, nevertheless, we can't control what other franchises do and what they have. We can only control what goes on in Tampa. And Jason Light and those guys in that front office are doing a great job working to put pieces together to make sure that they have a competitive product. That's one thing you can say about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last 5 years, they have been very competitive. Hell, got a Super Bowl win. But once Brady retired and things changed, a lot of people said, that ship has sailed. We're going to move on. Even still now, a lot of people last year, they said it was going to be the Atlanta Falcons out the NFC South. A lot of people are saying the same thing this year. But I'm just saying, pump the brakes, slow down. Don't overlook what can happen in Tampa, because Baker Mayfield has been phenomenal since being the starting quarterback. And yes, I use the word phenomenal because he's winning games, he's managing, and he's not doing more than he has to do, but he also is playing with the confidence and the swagger. So I love how Baker Mayfield has been, to where some ask me, where do I rank him amongst quarterbacks? I'm going to do that later on this month. But Baker Mayfield, top 10 to me in the NFL right now. Call me crazy. It's cool. We'll compare lists when I come out with that. But Baker Mayfield, he's coming into his own, and look at what they did in that wide receiver room. The weapons that these guys have. I mean, Mr. Reliable, Mike Evans alone, going for the consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, the touchdowns that he adds, just one of the best wide receivers in the game. Everybody talk about how slow he is, but Mike Evans does a great job of being open all the time. We know Chris Godwin is hurt. He had the bad ankle injury against the Ravens last season. But to go out and get Emeka Egbuka in the first round out of Ohio State, watching his body of work and what he's done at OTAs and rookie minicamp was a great pick. And like I said before, I was not a big fan at first because I thought we had to go defense. But at the same time, to add that piece, then you got Jalen McMillan, you got Palmer, Shepard signed back. The receiver room, there's a lot of weapons in there. And so now Godwin doesn't have to rush back. Everyone says that he's fine, and Jason Light said that he's going to be fine. Todd Bowles has said the same thing. But at the same time, to add depth in that receiver room, like the Buccaneers have right now Godwin can take his time, come back, and make sure that he's 100% before he even steps onto the field, which is a great thing. So you got that. And then the running back dynamic of Bucky Irvin, Rashad White, and Sean Tucker. I mean, dude, I like the running back game that we have. We have a three-headed monster because we all know how the running back position is used now in the NFL. Everyone can't have a Derrick Henry, right? You're not going to just have that one back that can take over a game. You're going to need a multitude of running backs. And for what Bucky Irvin did in his rookie year last year, you got to like what the Buccaneers have at the running back position as well. The offensive line, Tristan Wirfs, Ben Bredeson, Graham Barton, Cody Mock, is coming to his own, gotten better over the last 2 years. They work up front. The one thing that decimated the Buccaneers last year were injuries. And to look how beat up and banged up that secondary was last year. And everyone kept saying the same thing this year about our defense, that they don't have what it takes on defense, and they're getting old. And I'm going to say pump the brakes again. So, because to go out and get Benjamin Morrison in the second round and then Jacob Parrish in the third round to add to that secondary with Jamel Dean and Tyke Smith, and then Zion McCullum came into his own last year as well, like starting to get better. And people go, big game. What about your linebacker room? Yeah, Levante David is older. We know that. It's okay. It's coming to end. But don't forget what Savasier Dennis was doing prior to the injury last season. So I think we still have decent depth at linebacker to get us through, to be sufficient. Because this is the thing. You're not going to look at this Buccaneers roster and just fall in love with what's going on with the roster. You see it because you're thinking, oh, but these guys fit the pieces well for what Todd Bowles wants to do. And to compete like we did last year and make it to the playoffs, yeah, we fell short in the first round to the Commanders. But to do it with a beat-up team and to be playing with pieces that we had to keep rotating in because of injury, I like the chances. To me, on offense, the big factor is going to be, what is Josh Grizz going to do as an offensive coordinator after Liam Cohen leaving to take the job in Jacksonville? For him to be named the coordinator, being on that staff, being familiar, I believe good things are going to happen. Only time will tell. And the same thing was said about Canales when he got there. Is he really going to be able to get the job done? He's going to be the head coach in Carolina. And then Liam Cohen, same thing is kind of said for him. He's going to be the man in Jacksonville. So we found a way to have successful coordinators come in and help the offense out and make the game plan easy for Baker Mayfield. And from everything I've read and what Josh Grizz is saying, he's saying all the right things. He's going to do what he can to keep the game simple and easy, and for Baker Mayfield to have success. And like I said, when you rely on that run game that we had and then the receivers that we have, and guys, don't discount Cade Otton. I believe Otton is a good tight end. Is he Gronk? No, but he does run well, catch the ball well. He's not the big physical blocking tight end, but we got other pieces for that. So I like Cade Otton and what he can do. So now, if we can just avoid the injury bug, and then people are going to say, big game, you still haven't addressed the pass rush. Elijah Cansey will be fine. No one's going to block Vita Vea in the middle. He's going to stay healthy. I like what I think Yaya Diaby will be able to do. And then you add a Hassan Reddick to go along with that. Dude, defense is better than what we're going to get credit for. But that's okay. Don't give us credit on what we can do on the defensive side of the ball. That's fine. We will find a way to make it happen. Like I said, it's the offseason. I'm not going to go beyond crazy about what I think the Buccaneers are going to do. But when I read this article in depth and the different things it talks about as far as being a dark horse, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are right there ready to compete with the likes of the Philadelphia Eagles, the Detroit Lions, the Rams, and the Commanders. I think that's who a lot of people would say are the favorites coming out of the NFC. Us being in the South, yeah, everyone's going to throw the Falcons up on the pedestal. And you still have Penix, who only started with 3 games last year. So this essentially is still almost a rookie season for him. So Yeah, they added pass rushers, but there's a lot of things that they still lack. Their tight end Kyle Pitts doesn't even know if he's going to be there. They say they're open to trade him. Pump the brakes on the Falcons being the best team in the South. Or you know what? Better yet, don't do that. NFC South fans, go ahead and say that the Falcons are better than the Buccaneers. So we'll surprise you again like we did last year. Because at the end of the day, I believe that we'll make record-breaking news, win the NFC South for a fifth year in a row, go to the playoffs, and I think we'll make a run. All these other teams have gotten better. And I think another dark horse might be the Chicago Bears with them addressing the offensive line to kind of help Caleb Williams. But nevertheless, at the end of the day, the Buccaneers, me saying that they'll win the NFC South, that's not a stretch. But to be able to make a run and have a team that's suitable for winning a Super Bowl, a lot of people will call me crazy. What are you looking at? I say, do you think I'm local? Go ahead, call me crazy. Because at the end of the day, I'm agreeing with a lot of my other boys of what's going on Sports Talk, my other Buccaneer podcast content creators. I believe that the Buccaneers have a legit chance to be Super Bowl dark horses in the 2025 season. Now, only time will tell, but Big Game is going to go ahead out on a limb and say, don't forget who told you that the Buccaneers are going to make a Super Bowl run. Hey, if you like premium cigars, scan that QR code, check out Puff Sip Chat, Loyal to Ash cigar subscription program, 5 premium cigars to your doorstep monthly for $29.99. Minority owned, female owned, also premium brand cigars. If you like a good smoke, check out Puff Sip Chat's Loyal to Ash cigar subscription. Until next time, it's your boy, James Canada, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive tackle, and this is Games Pewter Perspective on the BGSE Network. Y'all be good. God bless.